Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share a heartwarming story with you titled, The Great Cat Food Experiment. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Of course, if it's not your style, feel free to skip it, no hard feelings. Now, let's begin the story. It was a quiet afternoon, the kind where the house seemed to hum softly with peace. My 3 cats were sprawled across the sofa, their tiny paws twitching as they dreamed of who knows what. Probably mountains of tuna or heroic battles against imaginary toy mice. Their synchronized snoring was both adorable and suspiciously loud, like a tiny feline orchestra. I tiptoed into the living room, clutching a bag of shiny new cat food I had just bought. My heart was beating with anticipation. Would they like it? Would they ignore it? Or would they look at me with the cold disdain that only cats can muster? "Wake up, sleepyheads," I chirped, gently shaking the ringleader, Milo, the fluffiest of the bunch. His eyes flickered open, glaring at me as if I had just committed the greatest crime of interrupting his nap. Beside him, Luna stretched dramatically, yawning wide enough to swallow the universe, while Oreo rolled onto his back, paws in the air, pretending he hadn't heard a thing. They clearly had no plans to move, but I knew their weakness. Food, I whispered like a secret spell. 3 pairs of ears twitched instantly. Within seconds, all 3 were awake, blinking suspiciously at me. Their tails flicked like question marks. "Yes," I said, raising the bag. "I got something new for you to try." I poured the new food into their bowls, and the sound of the little crunchy pieces hitting the ceramic was like a dinner bell. Milo trotted over first, nose high, pretending he wasn't that interested. He sniffed the food cautiously, as though I might be trying to poison him with broccoli. Luna, on the other hand, approached like a queen inspecting her banquet. She circled the bowl once, twice, then finally lowered her nose with the grace of royalty. Oreo, always the clown, just dove in, chomping loudly as if he hadn't eaten in days. The other 2 cats froze and stared at him, scandalized. How dare he eat first without their approval? Milo gave him a disapproving flick of the tail. Luna sat back, her eyes narrowing, clearly suspicious of this new food. For a moment, I thought she might reject it entirely, and I braced myself for the feline version of a dramatic protest. Paws crossed, nose turned up, and the classic, "I will starve before I eat this nonsense" stare. But curiosity won. Milo finally crunched a piece, his whiskers twitching as he tested the flavor. Then another, and another. His tail started to swish, this time in delight rather than suspicion. Luna, not to be left behind, delicately picked up one piece, chewed slowly, and then, shockingly, didn't spit it out. Instead, she continued, one bite at a time, still maintaining her queenly composure. Oreo, of course, was already halfway through his bowl, crumbs on his whiskers and eyes wide with joy. I stood back, arms crossed, watching this grand experiment unfold. It felt like I was hosting a cooking show for 3 very demanding, very fluffy judges. Would I get 3 paws up or a scathing feline review? After a few minutes of intense chewing, licking, and staring at me like I had something to prove, the verdict was in. Milo finished his bowl and immediately sat down in front of me, tail wrapped around his paws, giving me that "more, please" look. Luna walked over slowly, rubbed her head against my leg, and purred, which I knew was her way of admitting, "Not bad, human. Not bad at all." And Oreo? Well, he was already attempting to stick his paw into Milo's empty bowl, just in case a single crumb remained. I laughed, both relieved and proud. It wasn't just about the food. It was about making them happy, seeing their little personalities come alive in such funny and dramatic ways. Who knew that introducing new cat food could feel like hosting a 3-act play filled with suspense, comedy, and a very satisfying ending? As they licked their paws and settled back onto the sofa, this time with much fuller bellies, I couldn't help but smile. Life with cats is never boring. One moment they're ignoring you, the next they're demanding the world, and sometimes they surprise you with little gestures of approval that melt your heart. And just like that, the house returned to peace. The feline orchestra resumed their naptime concert, but this time with the satisfied hum of purring in the background. I tucked the bag of new food safely in the cupboard, feeling victorious. Today, I had passed their test. Tomorrow? Who knows? With cats, every day is another adventure. In many ways, The scene of three cats testing out new food mirrors the challenges we face when embracing change in our own lives. Just like Milo, Luna, and Oreo, people often respond differently to new experiences. Some approach with caution, some with skepticism, and others with unrestrained enthusiasm. This reminds us that change, whether it's starting a new job, moving to a new place, or simply trying a new routine, can feel uncertain at first. Yet, curiosity and openness often lead to surprising rewards. Milo's eventual enjoyment, Luna's graceful acceptance, and Oreo's fearless dive into the unknown show us that while our styles may differ, adaptation is possible for everyone. In modern life, we often hesitate to step outside our comfort zones because we fear failure, judgment, or discomfort. However, much like the cats discovering that the new food was actually delightful, we too might find joy and growth when we dare to try something unfamiliar. The advice here is simple. Embrace change with patience, curiosity, and courage. Allow yourself time to adjust, respect others' pace, and remember that new experiences, though daunting at first, can enrich your life in ways you never expected.